The scene: your team gets wiped due to circumstances involving pure stupidity. You two fall victim to said stupidity, leaving just one hamster, on the verge of puberty, alone to defend against an unscathed team hungry for their LP. This late into the game means color will not be restored to the screens of your pathetic peers in time to help. The desperation from the furry's friend's death sets in, and the bold move to forego any effort to defend is made as he who hangs a 2013 picture of ex-Pekka in his bedroom and bops his baloney nightly to it engages in a wild base race, confident in his ways, thinking it's over despite how close it is, as the audience is left in suspense on the edge of their seats wondering how it ended. Okay, the real question about the game you are about to see is how was it so close, considering 2016 Tyler 1 was popping off. The Chad Chipmunk clearly was having a good game and I was representing for miniature Hogwarts nicely, but I introduced to you Kayn, the one who filled this game with pain, making me want to go insane due to a new strain of Rift syndromes known as the variant of Kayn. Symptoms include watching so much charisma you think you can grow your hair out, rock skinny boy jeans, probably be able to skateboard, and oh yeah, think you can just dive into any fight only to get Riley readed on repeat. Or having an internal bipolar complex where your runes say red, your build says blue, and your gameplay says I don't give a piss, I'm just gonna bait my teammates into awful fights so I can get my soul so that I transform earlier, while simultaneously getting so far behind that your only hope of running straight into an enemy and succeeding is by playing an entirely different gameware that is designed to work like Mech Arena.
Wait a minute!
Okay kids, so imagine this. Fortnite, Overwatch and your cell phone just had a baby together. Ignore the logistics of how that would be possible because you're too busy grinding the first skill-based third-person PvP shooter to make it on mobile, hoping to one day take over the competitive scene, win tournaments and buy a Malibu mansion, all because your well-trained thumbs helped you put the mech in money-making mechanics. But first you need a bit more information, like how in this game you collect an army of different mechs all with unique abilities and stats. Then you customize them with different skins and combinations of weapons that you can then tailor your strategies around in games. For example, I like to pick the purple python people eater, this savage looking hunk, then throw a PP laser in one arm to distract the other bots, and then fire my other hand cannon, the Zeus Deucer 5000, straight into the air, trademark pending, as you just sit back, watch it land and say, Mech Arena. Now the game is brand new, so you have a small window of time to be the absolute best before all the Fortnite sweat stains learn about it and start doing daily drills like total dorks. But if you do like small windows, here's an even smaller one. If you try it before August 19th, you will get all kinds of welcome gifts, not to mention all the rewards that come with using my link or scanning my QR code, like 500 A coins, 70k credits and a mil-spec skin, and an opportunity to add me and be one of my mechy friends. So give it a try today and say, Mech Arena. Okay, so for all the babies doing the cry before I'm hurt routine by bashing a game that never played in the comments, please politely drink some piss punch, and for the rest of you open to trying a new mechanism that's a play on words to having some phone fun, I salute you and let's get into the game. Alright, introducing today's Rost Hole, making an early visit to suck some orbs out of the Bollywood porn star, and after seeing that he left his accuracy in the car I should have backed off, but I have reverse commitment issues, aka I commit to crap shoots like this, leaving me in a situation where my only option is to press the win fight button before dying to the sussy arrival of their entire team. That said, I've painfully learned that to climb in this piss pit of a game you have to collaborate with the cockwad, so I ping Kanye that shit's about to get real as I put Tarzan in the circle of shame, which by the looks of it he wasn't thrilled about, as I blow my load and reward Kanye with what will be his first and only kill of the game. Then we see our worthless wheat farmer come in hot, dropping all of his abilities on the floor before falling for the next symptom of this syndrome, courtesy of the Kayn subreddit, thinking you can 1v1 enemy top preform, as we see his anal trespass leaving him in a bit of a pickle as the hunchback of killing Kayn welcomes the fight, and you see my midget wizard ass arriving for my cleanup crew shift, only for me to get severely outplayed by Riot Games themselves as I get my foot caught on a broken piece of code right outside of ult range with no option other than to watch that blue chunky ass get away. Anyways, a few minutes later we catch the crazy cat lady thinking just because she's the only jungler in this game she can take a free drag, and as long as my 2'7" ass is on the rift that shit won't fly, so I mukbang one of her simp spears and then raise her shrub surprise with one of my own, aka a skeleton shove straight into a stun, as I politely ask her where all her health went. And apparently earning orbs for blue form requires fighting ranged champions or some shit, so we see the Shadow Weeb commanding my team's clueless troops into a worse position than a Kama Sutra book at a Celibacy's Anonymous meeting as he leads the pack by example and gets removed from the rift. Then you see me enter at the bottom to do what Mixer couldn't and kill off Twitch before me and Tarzan discuss who deserves to die, and the details of that conversation are confidential unfortunately. You can ask Kanye, who even offered to finger pop Bollywood Bobby's butthole with his entire body despite it yielding absolutely no benefit for our team. Then after being hardcore rejected worse than a hooker's application to join a convent, he heads south to extract some blue orbs at any cost. As the concept of waiting for his teammates to be in place before yelling surprise is clearly foreign to him, and it's a shame he can't crawl into the safety of one of their shitholes considering he just played that card for no reason mid a few seconds earlier, so he gets ass blasted to oblivion, leaving our team's Chad Chipmunk left to clear up the confusion that ADCs are actually designed to die during ganks like that. That said, I finally get some alone time with unemployed Aladdin, so I take this opportunity to ask if he likes the Wendy's in Shurima, to which he says yeah why, lining me up to say then you're gonna love when D's nuts hit you in the face omega lol. And while my approach to meeting the newest champion is to forcefully inform him that my maturity level matches my champion's height, Kayn had another idea to break the ice by proudly introducing himself as the guy who was born in the famous experiment where scientists fertilized a human embryo with the dumbest ape on the planet's sperm cells, which, call me toxic, but when my team is all here and I see 9x Noah way over here, well beyond the buoys you aren't supposed to swim past all alone in a solo performance that made me wish I had more middle fingers, I resort to tilt typing with no remorse that I'm flaming such a deserving dogshit douche snozzle, as his response only reaffirms my opinion that condoms should be distributed at League of Legends events to prevent our breed of humanity from growing, but I had more pressing matters to attend to. Like making sure Edgar Allan Poe's remaining time in this fight would be nevermore before standing up on my chair and doing a prompt front flip cannonball straight onto my alt key like it was some WWE finisher move, #outplayed you Persian pussy. Then it's worth noting their team's pet cat came in and our reaction was on par with something you'd see on an Alinity stream. Turns out Lantern Larry was chanting bot diff in the river shrubs, and when they found out where he was hiding things got hostile, but luckily me and the prepubescent hamster were in the area to inform them that you actually must be less than this tall to ride the not dead bitch express, and while Twitch was close to the cutoff, the angry arm amputee stood no chance. Then since our jungler is seemingly self-conscious about being seen alive, me and the boomerang baby have to do the river rounds as patrols, which results in me being put in the playpen again, which infuriates me enough to provoke first-degree murder as I shout,
Is that a short joke?
Checking in on Kanye, who successfully wastes his cooldowns to accomplish nothing, spending his time before dragon spawns pacing around pondering things like why is it called quicksand if it works slowly, or why we park on the driveway but drive on the parkway, typical things that won't contribute to me getting any fucking LP out of this game. But hey, drag is up, and after all that waiting might as well leave, because there is an absolutely incredible opportunity to dive into a 1v2 when 1v1 would have been sufficient to get the job done at this point. Actually, the more I think about it, even 2v1 was sufficient to get him killed, as we see him personally prove that point a minute later, leaving me with eternal resting bitch face thinking about how there are 1,000 more cucks just like this Kayn in line to be put on my team. But then Splinter Cell Twitch pops out and I'm like, bitch, curb your ego and say hey to our team's Juggalo. Then, to absolutely no one's surprise, Kanye is dashing toward the danger that everyone else is running from, as I demonstrate firsthand that I am more of a dog person before escorting Mr. Wall Hacking West and one giant ass gerbil out to safety. Then I size up Yorick and say I'll show you mine if you show me yours, and if we are comparing circumference, mine was bigger, and despite his shadow sperm sucking me off, my health bar at the end was bigger too. Oh, and you can assume that the shadow ass asshole came back to save me right after, because when this ratchet ass reaper gets a smell of blood, there is nothing stopping him from becoming a tenant of someone's taint, even if it means getting shit out in a bad part of town and doubling down on the decision to recklessly pursue death for himself. Meanwhile, my Nar is narrating his champion spotlight and I'm like, bro, I can see your giant ass mega balls, don't play that mini card with me, just slam that grumpy grandpa into a friggin' wall so I can ass blast him into oblivion before a trolling Titanic Hydra Twitch evens the trade, as I make awkward eye contact with my ult and then say, fuck it, pussy. Checking back in on Kanye, and well, unfortunately there were no plot twists to report in that scene. And since our team Smite is both in base and still apparently learning his ABCs, we have to defend Baron alone, which honestly went pretty well considering that slouching shovel simp bit off more than he could chew. #winfight buttons were pressed, and then I run up for a quick post-game interview to see how the other bitches liked being bashed into a wall, but that feline froze up, refusing to talk to me, so I put her in prison as me and Thresh worked together as well as any solo Q teammates could, forcing me to light that feisty fuck on fire and run away laughing. This allowed us to get Dragon Soul no thanks to this piece of melted tar playing Kanye, and I believe the expression "I would take a bullet for you" did not apply to my actions here, but in all honesty I didn't expect that shit to flat out kill the moron from 80% health. Skin sales must be soaring, kudos to you Riot. Thankfully though, their jungler was almost as magnetic to Fountain as ours, but there was truly no competing with the grace of his actions and how he made dying without even touching an enemy look much more effortless, I must say. And at the end of the day, there were few things more guaranteed in life than Mr. Rost in peace being all alone, orphaned from the team, just begging all 5 of them to take a family picture in front of the micro cuck on his dead corpse, which, not to get too specific, resulted in me being in a bit of a predicament myself, where my backup plan labeled 200 years was used to at least piss one little rat off before dying. So then a final elder setup was in place. Vision was cleared, and a bait once the team babies arrived would have been the play, but dogshit dumb as a doorknob wakes up the drag and then yields a contribution to the fight around the level of something I would expect out of a damn scuttle crab, resulting in us all dying. And catching us up to the clip we saw at the intro where Nar may have been mini but his balls were enormous, and not to add too much to the suspense with the following lyrics, but till the sweat drop down my balls, till all these bitches crawl. Till all skeet skeet motherfuckers, till all skeet skeet, goddamn. We pull out probably the most crap flaps clenching game I've been a part of this season, and I truly hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I did covering it, and with that, Rav out.
I'm on and I'm popping, I'm not gonna stop when the haters come knocking, so tell them kick rocks, shoot off like a rocket and fill up my pockets, make way for the boy cause I got this shit locked.